So back in Skyrim, continuing my open world exploration. I will hit some dungeons we pass on the way too, but I love the open world. I've done almost everything on this character. And I've left my Rurikstead home, and already the open world is coming alive. I can see trouble in the distance. I can see this black-robed figure, who I know is trouble. Now, the guards haven't attacked him, so that implies he is not hostile. But I know that he is. So I'm going to assassinate this guy. I also see another miscreant up in the distance beyond him, not in the town, so the guards aren't going after him. I'll probably have to take care of him too. I'll make sure he's not an innocent who's being attacked. I'm looking for his attacker before I kill him. I don't want to kill innocents. This guy, I am certain, is going to be a vampire. If I were not in sneak, he would attack me now, and if I let him go, he will eventually attack guards. His name says Traveler, but when we examine this guy later, we will see that he is almost certainly a vampire. Now let's see what is up here. I'm going to make sure he's not just a farmer or a peddler or something that's been attacked by something. Nah, he's a bandit. So that's all for him. I don't loot much of the game since I have damn near everything I need. I've got excuse me, I have the weapons I want, the gear I want, tons of gold. I will occasionally take something. So the name says Traveler, but his equipment will say otherwise. Yes, vampire. Now you can become a vampire in the Dawnguard DLC, the expansion. I chose not to. I don't like their rendition of vampires in this game. So the vampires hunt me all the time. They even send assassins after me, who they appear as like a conjuration spell. They can come out of the void anywhere and attack me, and they'll even have an assassin's writ telling them that they have to kill Rialto the Vexing, or in your case would be your character's name. If you have a prolonged fight with a vampire, you can also catch vampirism, the disease. A potion of cure disease will get rid of that. You could also go to a major town, go to a temple, and activate any statue of a god that will remove any diseases. I kill things so fast like this that I don't. I rarely ever get any kind of disease from anything. Unless something goes wrong. But that's why I started using magic in my offhand. So I'm going to continue up here on the other side of this mountain. I believe I will have the road leading to yet another house, which is basically what I do now. I love to explore the open world, and I go from home to home. I have homes everywhere. All of my mods are for extra housing in the game, except for one archery mod that's supposed to alleviate a bug with archery. It doesn't really do that much, though. And this seems to be a Forsworn camp. This is the area where the Forsworn live. They basically hate everybody. They don't want anyone here except them, so they kill everything that they can. They have a weird religion, and led by hag ravens, witches who have given up their humanity to get greater magical powers, and they're absolutely disgusting. They can give you a disease too if you fight them for a long time in melee. Their claws can give you brain rot. Oh, a nice kill cam. Very fun feature of the game. And again, it can be fixed just like the vampirism disease can. We'll probably get a look at a hag raven. If they actually occupy ruins here, it looks like they might. There will be a hag raven, I am sure. I use my Aura Whisper Shout, which reveals the living or the undead, anything animate. Great shout for a sneak character, so that you know where your enemies are. Because your whole thing is sneaking up on them. You really don't do much damage when you're not sneaking. So, we'll now see that even though I'm completely hidden, this person's getting up. I'm going to start spazzing out. Okay, I killed him before they started looking all around for me. This is how your sneak can be sort of ruined. You may do everything correctly. Now, this guy too, he's winging out. He's looking around. He's going left. He's going right. Look back, looking behind them. They take a step left, a step ahead, a step back. They'll turn around and look back. And you can do everything right. And you're sneaking up. You're just about to get him. And all of a sudden, the guy's like, and he takes a step to the side, back, or whatever, bumps into you, and you're completely revealed. And then you're left with your quite low damage compared to your ability to withstand damage. As I said, all your damage comes from sneak attacks, and the real problem is, yes, you can do damage with your dagger face to face, but you can't take much as a character like this. So that's why I'm using more magic in my offhand. I'm using a paralyze spell now, so that if my cover's blown, I can stun him for a second there, you know, and try to get some damage in. And you see, he was doing the same thing. He was, you know, looking around, spinning left, spinning right. Very easy for that to go poorly. Now, I could really solve that whole issue if I wanted to by just using a bow all the time. But I like to use daggers too. I don't want to rely on just one weapon set to do everything. Archery is super fun in this game, despite there's a sort of irritating bug with it, but it's tremendous fun to be this sort of sneaky sniper. So I'm going to do that for this guy. I might have been able to sneak behind him, but I figured, what the hell, I'm going to give myself a break once in a while. I think we will be able to go in here. This should lead into ruins. They will probably have traps, and we will find the Hag Raven, I am sure. I'm going to go forward carefully. If this is too big, I'll back out so the video doesn't become an hour long. Or maybe I'll just cut it into sections. I don't think this is a real big place. I'm going to watch out for traps. Now, my sneak is maxed out. I do not set off most traps. I can go over pressure plates and they won't get set off. But if you're not a sneak character, or if you don't have maxed out sneak, you've got to watch out for them. So I'm going to set them off with an arrow if I see them. And I already see a pressure plate. And I will shoot it with an arrow, and something bad will happen down there. And I hear poison darts. I'm used to that sound. This is why I don't use companions, too. They spoil your sneak. They are detected. They will walk on all of these traps. There is a tripwire, and that set off some spikes coming out of there. And they get in your way when you try to make an escape as a sneak character, because you can't take damage. You've got to run away if you get swarmed. You really don't do well if you just stand there and face-to-face fight people. So it is the reason for the single cheat that I use in the game, and that is I increased my carry weight. And that is because followers can also carry the loot that you find. And when I was leveling this character, it just got irritating that I'm not using a follower, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I lose their damage, I lose the fact that they can heal me, I lose the fact that they can pull threat and allow me the freedom to fight. So I lose all the benefits of having a follower. So I decided, okay, I'm going to increase my carry weight. I got tired of doing dungeons and not being able to take anything. It just got irritating at a certain point in the game. Let's see. I'm going to take my time shooting these enemies. Now, of course, I could just run up there and just start shooting. A guy might come up a staircase and get me. I just don't think it's the way to play this. It's certainly not the play style for everyone doing this. But I just love this play style, being patient and sneaky and picking your moment very well. He stops freaking out, and there's a pressure plate on the floor here. We'll see what that does. Okay, there's no more enemies. I just want to use my aura whisper shot again to make sure no one else is going to sneak up on us. And there is a pressure plate. Let me move back. We'll see what this does. If you step on this, or if your follower or companion steps on that, you get a wall of spikes in the face. So let us see what's down here. This will lead us down into that room. God, these people are a mess. Alright. We'll see if... I'll show you this Hag Raven. I don't see any levers on the wall over there. Buttons or chains to open that door. There's the Hag Raven. Good God, what a mess. Ugh, gagacious. How sickening. So, since I don't see how to open this door, it's probably this book that is up on this little pedestal podium that we passed, or it will be down on that table in the in this room. And I see a pressure plate, I think. Let me see. On the table. Take a look quickly. Yes, it is. So that is most likely it. What this will mean is we have to drag something and put it on there to hold the pressure plate down. This I find hard. I'm not good at this. Somehow I'm managing to do it. The same button, the same key to take an item is also the same one you use to move it. I usually end up just taking it. It's just something I'm not really good at in the game. But I heard that door open. Now, if we were to take this book off of the podium over here, I would also run away because they are often rigged as well. I don't need that book. That's a spell book. It would be worth taking, but pick it up and run. I don't see anything up here that's a trap. Any logs to swing down to brain us. Let's see what's in this little room over here. Make sure that isn't rigged there. There's a chest. I see no wires next to it, no holes in the floor for spikes, nothing above it. Okay, so that'll be safe to go and open. I don't need these books. I collect books in this game. You can actually read them. There are skill books that will level your skills. Most of them actually just tell stories, and they're actually very, very interesting, very well written. They're not long. I collect them, put them on my bookshelves in my larger homes. They're quite entertaining. The game's very well done despite some of its very irritating bugs. It is my favorite game, my favorite single-player game ever. I don't need lockpicks. My lockpicking is maxed, and I don't break lockpicks anymore. And we'll go outside here, or it might be more of this this ruin, but I think it's going to take us outside, and I want to find how to open this. There's a button. When I click that, I am going to run, because I suspect a trap. It may not be, but I'm not going to stand there and eat the damage of a trap. Okay, no trap. Just open the door. And it looks like it's going to lead outside. Yeah, that's going to go back out to the world of Skyrim. And we'll have to see what direction to go in once we get outside, since I'm going to continue on to my Dwemer-style house. I think it's called Barzanthium, and it's another mod. Unlike, it's not part of the house in every village or home in every village mod, which is my favorite little mod in the game, which adds modest little homes to all the villages. It will be a house in the middle of nowhere, on my way to yet another village or another city where I have a house. And it's really well done. It's really well done, very nicely done. The strange, somewhat steampunk style architecture and aesthetic of the Dwemer, a no longer extant race in the Elder Scrolls at this point in history. It really looks cool. So we'll go down to the road here and make sure nothing's coming. Nothing's up here. To the right should be this home, if I remember correctly. I'm always watching out for trouble. I'm always sneaking. I can't see not sneaking when I sneak out. Oh, okay. I don't trust this at all. It says Vigilant of Stendarr, and I know they're not. That guy's got red eyes, and I see dead people who are undoubtedly Vigilants of Stendarr, who these vampires, I'm telling you, they're vampires, and they've killed the Vigilants, taken their clothing to disguise themselves. Now, if they detected me, they would call me over. They'd be like, "Hey, Travel." They'll give me this hearty hail welcome and try to engage me in conversation and attack me. And again, that's why I want to have magic in my offhand. If I were to engage in that conversation, when the conversation was over, I would not be in sneak. I would be fully detected, and my damage would be very low, and I'd be fighting 3 vampires with very low damage. Not good for a character like this at all. And there's a Vigilant, but there's a vampire, so that's what they do. If you get hailed that way, don't trust it. So this is why I like the open world so much in this game. I mean, I just left one home and just wandered the open world, and I find all these cool things going on. To me, it's really entertaining and really fun. So the dungeons and the quests are great. Do them. By all means, do them. I did a lot of them. But the open world I find to be so cool that it's almost feeling alive in a single-player game. So this is Barzanthium, my home here. Really nicely done by whoever made this. Sadly I don't remember the person's name. I got this from the Steam Workshop. And let's go inside and take a look. And what I'll do is, I'll end up saving the game here. And when I come back again, I will go to yet another village. Well, this isn't a village, this is between villages. I'll just go to another location. We'll see what happens in the open worlds, and if I pass a dungeon that looks interesting, I'll explore it, or a ruin, or a fort. And I have a lot of fun doing that. I have so much fun doing that. Give you a brief, quick look at this place. Not all the lights are on. This does have active lighting in it. It's quite atmospheric. This is one of my favorite little homes in the game. Bigger ones have bookshelves and much more crafting stations and things. But I really like this little place here. And what is the bedroom back here, and a steam bath. Maybe you can see the sort of steampunk feel to it, in a little bit of a way, steampunk-like. So I'll end this here, and I will go off and find some more fun in Skyrim. So I hope you enjoyed this.